Hello and welcome to another episode of GOA365 Story Behind the Story. Now we have been discussing a lot of very morbid sort of issues over the past. Sometimes we're talking about accidents, we're talking about the murders and all that. So today we are talking basically going on what's happening on the economic scale on the tourism belt, starting with North Goa. Also we will talk about generally all over Goa, but basically the coastal tourism belt in Goa. We are starting off like this on this issue because the season is going to start now. This have already started, the charters have already started, but there are a lot of issues connected to infrastructure, law and order, friction between locals and the type of tourists that are coming into Goa at present. So to talk about this and discuss this and find or maybe possibly find ways of how we can move ahead on this, I have a senior panel with me which I would like to introduce, starting off with Sudesh Bab Maikar, the former Deputy Sarpanch of Kalangut. Sudesh Bab, welcome to our show. Kundan Bab Kerkar, social activist, he's been very active in trying to bring a little bit of order on that coastal belt, on the Kalangut coastal belt. Kundan Bab, welcome to our show. Pujan Bab Malwankar, he's a stakeholder, dabbles in politics slightly, but he's got his restaurant and all on the Anjuna belt. Pujan Bab, welcome to our show. Samir Bab Narvekar, journalist, good friend. Samir Bab, welcome to our show. And also my very good friend Nilesh Bab Shah, who's been in the tourism industry for a lot of time. He's the past president of the TTAG. He's been fighting to bring some sort of semblance and some sort of this and ensure that the politicians show some will to try and push a industry which employs around 40% of the population of Goa. Nilesh Bab, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Suresh Bab, Kalangut, Baga is, one can say, the hotspot of where the first tourists when they come, besides the casinos, the hotspot is Kalangut. Ata Kalangutan ata naw machi pida ala, tumi you are more famous for dance bars and foreigners dancing on the roads to bring people in, touts, XYZ. Kile challa tumche Kalangutan, and is this good for tourism, bad for tourism? Tumi sanga.
When we talk about North Goa, the main center, as you said, is Baga, Kalangut, Kanduli, these areas, and 90% we are based on tourism. अतिथी देवो भव म्हणटा पळय ते आमची ती टॅग लायन आहा, दॅट इज खंय तरी इल्ली ती आमी विसरत गेल्ले आसा. ओनली वन रीजन इज आर ग्रीड. एवरीवन वॉन्ट्स टू किल द आमी म्हणटा पळय द hen who gives the
golden eggs.
That is going on at the moment. आणि ट्युरिजम जेन्ना आमचो आदलो लोक चलयतालो तेका लागून ते हॉस्पिटॅलिटीक लागून ते सगळे भायले जे ट्युरिस्ट येताले, युरोपियन क्राउड येतालो पळय तो येतालो. तेजे उपरांत जेन्ना जे नॉन गोवन बिझनेसमॅन इनफ्लक्स येयले, तेंच्यांनी बरो बिझनेस चालू दवरलो. तेजे उपरांत तेंच्या तो ट्रेंड हाडलो, डान्स बार ट्रेंड म्हणुया आमी, ना तो स्पा. सी, Kalangut is famous for two things. One is the beach, second is our nightlife. पण ती नाईट लाईफ एक्सप्लोर अँड ओव्हर एक्सप्लोर झाली काय, दॅट डजंट गो वेल. ट्युरिस्ट जेन्ना गोंयान येता, दे शुडंट गो विथ बॅड मेमरीज. खंयच्याय डिस्कोन जेन्ना ट्युरिस्ट एंटर करता, यू गो दे, हॅव अ कपल ऑफ ड्रिंक्स, यू गो डान्स अँड कम बॅक. जे दिसा ते ट्युरिस्टाक मार पडटा पळय, तेन्ना ते ट्युरिजम लायन इन हा तेंकाय बरें दिसना. एट द सेम टायम तो ट्युरिस्ट बॅड मेमरी घेवन वयता. तेका लागून हे सगळे जे कितें आहा पळय तेजे फूल स्टॉप घालपाक सगळ्यांनी मेळोन वांगडा काम करचें पडटलें. तितून म्हाजो इगो जावं तुजो इगो, म्हाजी ग्रीड तुजी ग्रीड, आमी सद्या सगळ्यो गोष्टी, सगळ्यो रेस्टॉरंटां जावं गेस्ट हावसां, शॉपां भाड्याक दिल्लीं आसा. म्हाका दिसता दॅट इज नॉट द सोल्युशन फॉर इट. तेका लागून एक खंय तरी सगळे स्टेक होल्डर मेळोन ते एक इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करपाची गरज आसा. वाय इज द क्वॉलिटी ऑफ ट्युरिस्ट is going back to us day by day. आणि आम्ही जे म्हणता, you know, I cannot say this on media or on air, but we need to stop the bad things what we have opened and we need to welcome good tourism because good tourism season has already started.
Thanks Suresh Bab. Kundan Bab, आता तुम्ही मातशे some sort of a balance हाडूंक सोदता in that area. You have gone to court, you have gone to various places, but जाता कितें जाता? What is the scene on the ground?
आता कितें जालां आता लास्ट इयर न्हू चडूच चलतालो आनी डॅन्स बार अरावंड 13 सारकी नोटोरियस डॅन्स बार आहली. सो आमी एवरी टायम MLAशीन गेले, पंचायतीन गेले. MLA आमकां खूब फावटी SP, DYSP, DGP कोणा सगळ्यांचे हे गेले, CMआशीन येले, बंद करता जायना म्हणून मागीर हांव आनी सुदेश मयेकर दोग जाण मेवले आनी म्हटलें आमी हायकोर्टान या, जाता जाल्यार पळोवया कितें तरी. सो दोगूय उलयले, दोगूय हायकोर्टान गेले आमी आनी PIL घातली. सो डिसेंबर 23rd तेका ऑर्डर येयली आनी ते सील केले बाय द पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड. सो आतां ते सगळे बंद आसले, बंदूच आहा ते ऑलमोस्ट. पूण आतां जालां कितें, मसाज पार्लरां चालू आहा. आनी आतां जेन्ना आमी डिसेंबरान एक मोर्चा काडलेलो, ऑल द विलेजस पिसफूल मोर्चा. तितून आमचे वांगडा सरपंच आसले, म्हणजे ऑल सगळे पंचायतीचे सगळे मेंबर आसले, सरपंच आसलो, MLA आसलो आनी खूब आमचे सिनियर लोक आसले, खूब जाण आसले. तेन्ना आमचे एकूच हें आसलो की आमकां डॅन्स बारा नाका आनी मसाज पार्लरां नाका, कित्याक तितून नाका जाल्यार धंदो चलता. सो तेचे उपरांत हांवें मागीर RTI घातली पंचायतीन की कितली नई डॅन्स बारां दिल्या काय, सॉरी मसाज पार्लरां. सो म्हाका RTIचेर हे मेळ्ळे अरावंड 55 म्हाका लायसनां दिल्ली. जेन्ना हांवें सरपंचाक विचारलें, सरपंच म्हणलो 35 आपूण नई लायसनां दिली. म्हाका आतां हें विचारपाचें आहा कितें, जेन्ना तुमी आमच्या वांगडा येता, मोर्चा काडटा आनी तुमकां बंद करपाक जाय, तुमकां खबर आहा थंयसर इलिगलिटीज चलता, नाका जाल्यार धंदे चलता, तितून तुमी लायसनां कशी दिवप, ती बीन 35, एक आनी 2 दिल्यार सोजमाता.
न्यू लायसन्सीस?
न्यू ड्युरींग हीज पिरियड ही गेव मोर देन 35 लायसन्सीस. आतां काल पयर आमकां इशू जाल्लो पळय तेन्ना परतून आमकां कळ्ळां कितें आनीकूय नई लायसनां दिल्या म्हणून. आनी थोडी नोटरीज आहा ती तेंची रिन्यूय केल्लेली आहा. सो हेका कोण तरी रिस्पॉन्सिबल आहा न्हू हे जावपाक. आनी आतां डॅन्स मसाज पार्लरां जाली, एक डॅन्स बार ऑलमोस्ट चालू जावपाक आहले. ते डॅन्स बाराचे थंयसर ते फाटीं इशू जालो, ते चेडवांची फकाणां गेलीं, ते आतां तेंच्यांनी बंद करता म्हटलां. पूण आमी आयकलां आनीकूय 3-4 नई डॅन्स बारां येवपाचें आहा म्हणून. आनी हे जो फाटीं इशू जाल्लो पळय तो डॅन्स बार लायसन दिलां, जेच्या नांवार पयलीं प्रिवियस लायसन आहलें बाय द नेम ऑफ ब्लॅक हार्ट, ते सील केलां. सो सेम पर्सनाक परतून लायसन्स दिलां. जेन्ना आमी विचारलें तो म्हणटा आपणाक खबर ना तो म्हणून. सो कितें उलोवपाचें तें म्हाका समजना.
Thanks Punam Bab. Punam Bab, you are not so much in this type of a business. You तुमची restaurant, I mean like you are involved and in part of that. But tell me now, the type of people who come to these dance bars or who come to these massage parlors, quote unquote, and they yopak te wholesale neta pita, are these people going to spend money in a restaurant where a dish is 300-400 rupees or a cocktail is 400? Is it possible, or ye log problem जातले for restaurant? Because last year the season for restaurant, majority of the restaurants was quite bad. No, I don't know, what do you feel?
So if you look at the current situation also, the restaurant sector, the stakeholders are facing a dire issue of no business.
Why?
So
what are there bhatta munta mein government?
People bharta, but quality of the tourists matter a lot. So you tell me, tourists coming to Goa with very less spending power. He comes in the treks, they sit in the treks, they wait at the outside of the road, they cook food and they eat. So these are the type of tourists that are coming to Goa. These are the tourists who will have a water bottle filled at every free water, what do you call, where you get free water, filtered water. These people don't have spending power, and these are the people who create litter, garbage around the public spots, during tourist spots and all. So what happens here is, when such kind of tourists come to Goa, they don't have the spending power and they don't help the economy. They help the economy by just littering the place. And you know, it's very difficult back to say, state of Goa, the standard Goa head is decreasing at a rapid pace. There is no elite crowd that is coming to Goa, and which leads to no business. So now, government should be very proactive regarding this. Government should do something where tourists want to come to Goa. So there are many tiers for tourism. We want good tier tourists coming to Goa. If you have tourists who doesn't have a spending power, who doesn't want to go to places, who doesn't want to enjoy, it's very difficult to sustain.
Just drink and go home.
No, they drink and they cook on the roadside. Those big buses come, they cook on the roadside and they go back. So if you look now, even the big hoteliers, if you go to see, are very scared because the projection for this season was supposed to be very high. But right now, if you see the state, there's no tourist.
No corner.
There's very less occupancy. The restaurants are running empty. Why? And there's no measures taken by the government also. Like if there's strict law and order in some sense, like no littering, no cooking on the roadside, which is happening even in the elite places of Goa. You will find a big 5-star, at the side of them you will find a big bus coming, the people coming and cooking on the roadside. And it's very bad to see. The cops also are not taking action. So something has to be done regarding this. And it's very important that all the stakeholders also realize that we stay united. When there's small issue, all stick together. Because in the end of the day, Goa's primary source of income is tourism. There are no events happening in Goa which will attract tourism also. I'm not saying you have to have big festival, something which will want the tourists to come to Goa, have a good time. And it's very important, I feel.
Thanks, Pujan Bab. Samir, you have seen, from ground level, what is the situation? Now, I agree with Pujan. I agree in what way? Like, for example, you go to, like, you're from that area, you're from Baga. You go on Friday, Saturday, tinga complete traffic jam. Police konut na. Yeah, bichar pita. I remember you have 5 stories of one guy sitting and getting drunk on this. Cops are not there. Now there are no high masts on this, so all this shit is happening on the beach. You go everywhere. See, this implementation, law and order, basically fokana amka, like, log eta ni amchi kan mache massage kota with some good talks. Bakiche, have you seen over the years kitne improvement jata? I'm going to bring Nilesh in later as the official tourist of this, but as a journalist, what do you see?
See, last few days you've seen the violence and the mess is taking place.
That is reaction from locals.
No. I'm saying forget about the reactions. This the businessmen who are running these dance bars, clubs and all. This is not a new thing. Okay. So the incident happened in Tito's Lane. So that incident was such
Tito's Lane, listen, Tito's Lane, one thing I would like to bring up, on the roads you'll find Europeans dancing here to get people in.
But
What is
that
this?
incident was so horrific, it was like a big riot. People coming out from the club with swords and all.
Shit.
We've never seen such things happening in Kalama.
Ani baile?
And especially in Tito's Lane.
Ani baile?
Baile?
Local no kon.
No locals.
Local are marpak.
Local. I don't know. I don't want to get into the things, but I don't know this. 2 locals, they are not from Baga, they were from Mapsa, from that side. I don't know, but this things is totally going out of hand. There is no control at all. So after this incident, CM took intervention into this matter, and soon after the second day, when the Chief Minister gave strict instructions, there was police force deployed there. No doubt, every junction there were police armed with armed police force, and they were giving keeping strict vigil on everyone going, checking cars and all, everything. I think it's a good initiative, but it should continue. It should not be a 2-day show. Okay? And if you see, during every Saturday or Friday night, in the prime main junctions, there are no cops.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
And the big buses are coming from Karnataka, Maharashtra and all, and the roads are especially narrow. So there's a big traffic jam. The parking spots are already fully covered. And what this people come from bus, what they do, they don't have a room, especially. The bus is the room for the hotel for them. So they cook in the hotel, cook in the bus, sleep in the bus. What they contribute to economy is water bottle. Just if there's no water, they contribute economy is a water bottle.
Water bottle, what? I agree with what Pujan was saying. They go to the एक bottle घेता ले मैं रोता थे free water is available everywhere, toilet
and they will ask for water.
और तो रेस्टोरेंट में था आए पहिला रेस्टोरेंट में चिप थोड़ा पानी.
So, but situation is totally going out of hand.
But this is happening all over Goa. You're talking about, is this not happening all over Goa?
No, I'm not talking all over the Goa, because if you go to Murjim, Vagator and that side, there is no such thing as what's going on.
So many people are not there.
Not there, yeah. But if you go Vagator, Murjim side, there are good, decent people. Because when the most tourists, I'm from that side, when most tourists meet me, they say, इससे अच्छा place किधर है, थोड़ा शांति चाहिए, I suggest them Murji and all, because the most people are they go to Murji and that side, and south side, Agwanda, Kavalasim, that side.
But in buses?
No. Not these buses people I'm talking about. They're decent people like
Okay.
couples, group, the spending tourist money, because they get icked when they see the situation, crowd and all. So they just ask us to suggest any good place, a good quiet beach somewhere we can enjoy and relax.
Thanks, Anibab. Nilesh Bab, now this is something you have seen, like, I mean, I'm sure you know, but this is actually you have seen what is happening on a regular basis now in these hotspots of Goan tourism. What is your take on this?
See, basically we need to understand that tourism is a lifeline of Goa. When we talk about tourism lifeline Goa, all people directly, indirectly are depending on tourism.
Yes.
Okay, everybody is talking about 40% of people employed in tourism. We are talking about 17%, 18% of GDP on tourism. So when we are talking on all those things, we need to understand that everybody needs to get the benefit of the tourism directly. So now what's been happening is the illegalities which is around, what I can understand from the debate. Now this illegalities needs to be cracked whichever way you look at it. Secondly, the incident which happened in Kalangut area, what I see is a lack of law enforcement. So I think there should be a strong policing. There should be less interference from the authorities for and police should be allowed to govern way it has to be required to be there. Thirdly, the things which are not required, like today people, if you see this type of agitations are not only restricted to Goa or India, worldwide. Like other day I was just this week only I was reading report at I think Prague. Similarly, they say that they are stopping they have an influx of people coming from Europe, from London there overnight for drinks, parties and going back, creating ruckus and going back. Now see, these are the things which are there prevailing all over the world. It's not Goa specific. So the solution is that we require to have a law enforcement to be to the core. Now secondly, what we have understood, we have to understand that nightlife is one of the part of tourism culture as such developed in Goa. So and bouncers which are coming in. Now what we need to do is the bouncer needs to be trained. And there has to be rules and regulations for everything. Now unfortunately, when we talk to our rules and regulation, it comes to hound the industry only.
Yeah.
Okay. But irrespective of that, I think there should be certain do's and don'ts. Like good initiative, the police department called all the as per the news report, all the stakeholders, all the club owners, and had a meeting with them that what are their powers. Now this should be continuous process to be adopted, because unless we do that, unless law enforcement agencies are not there, I think the lack of that right now you see that crowd also, because people feel safe in Goa. One thing we miss out on the point, we see so much of crowd coming into those areas because people find it safe. It may be a lady or it may be a man. People when they are coming, they find it overall safe. So that safety angle has to be looked into it. Again, I want to add to this, we see a lot of accidents, especially the people who are on the self-driven cars, bikes also. But self-driven car, I think out of 10 accidents, I think 2 will be by the self-driven car.
No, 5, 6.
So what is the cause for that? I think government needs to analyze that. As an industry, we may be stopped that we are talking of the same thing again and again, but you have to understand, we require, as world is moving, we require best. Why people are taking self-driven car? Because they find other normal taxi which is fleecing. Forget about the price. They don't get that time when they want to go out. They will not get the time to when they want to come back. Here it is easily possible. So if you have a proper transport system of app-based taxis which are allowed, automatically this people, everybody will get business also, and this drunkenness driving will come down, accidents will come down. And if you have that facility, be rest assured, the people will get filtered out, people unwanted, the crowd will get filtered out automatically. Here what happens, everybody comes with their own vehicle at the places, and we see the lot of crowd coming in and out. So I think it is high time the law and government should also understand that the police has to be there where it's required, And now and then if we see something negative about the North Goa, especially Kalangut, Baga and those areas, I think it is bad publicity because it goes worldwide. And if you see the maximum number of hotels are in that belt, especially two-star hotels, small hotels, and these are the people who are the direct stakeholder who survive on the tourism. I think, and after COVID, what has happened? These are the people who have suffered maximum. Big guys have not suffered. The small guys have suffered maximum, and they have been benefiting directly, indirectly, whichever way with the start of the industry. Overall view on the industry, I'm sure the industry, the overall this year we'll see a better season, specifically inbound is concerned compared to pre-COVID, because 2019, I was just reading report yesterday. After 2019, the figures now we are almost 20, 21, 22, 23, we are in 24, almost fifth year. The inbound tourists, not only in Goa but throughout India, has been quite subdued. It is not come back to that level. So I think government should, they are doing their bit of promoting, but this more needs to be done on that count. I understand because of geopolitical situation, the situation is worse. Otherwise, we would not have had such a problem with the Russia and Ukraine war and Israel and at war at Gaza. Because of that, that tourists which come to Goa are not coming in. As far as the tourists, what we are talking about, people cooking on the road and all things. See, there are way out, like in Goa, unfortunately, when democracy, we can't stop anybody coming and going. But definitely there can be some rules and regulations. There can be a proper signages. There can be a campsite where compulsory these buses are only allowed to go there and eat and whatever, and with the facilities there. I think some solution needs to come out for permanently for that, rather than the littering throughout, whichever we say. And when we talk about litter, let's be very, very frank, it is not just related to tourists, but it is also related to
that I totally agree.
And not only that, as CM just made the announcement, said last week that plastic consumption is highest in India is in Goa. Of course, that is because of we have 5 times the tourists which are coming in. So I think something needs to be done there also, wherein we may have to take some hard steps, wherein we ban total plastics, which many of the countries have done. I think many of the states also have started doing it. I think we need to work holistically and address one by one issue. As our tourism department, our minister is just talking about rejuvenating tourism. That means what we are talking about is bringing in the sustainability in the tourism industry. We are talking about people going beyond beaches. Now, when we are talking all those things, I think people should be stakeholder at each event. It should not happen that people are isolated and only the big projects or this like dance bars and which are coming in, which are in the front. I think which is something not people centric or people who don't want that thing. I think it is high time everybody understands and face those certain things out which are not good. And worldwide, what we are saying, the cultural tourism is in the front. And I think Goa has a rich culture, India has a rich culture. I think we have to get to our basics and start promoting the cultural tourism. And of course, rest will follow, but our focus should be brought back to the culture aspect of tourism in Goa.
Okay, just before I start with Sudesh, I will take a short break and get back in a minute. Keep watching GOA365.